Can you explain to people like why you decided to get into the ownership model?
I wanted the ownership model because I actually wanted to own everything behind it. Like if I had new agents come on, I wanted to have the flexibility where I could throw them on under me and make them money as well. So I was kind of looking out for future agents that would be working under me. Except if I did the other leasing model, it's good if you're just trying to, self-produce. But if you're looking to build something out of it, I think the ownership model is the way to go for sure. That's how I looked at it. I had agents coming on like 5. So I was just looking at it at a point of view where, if I can go through this 2-month learning process with the ads, and then by the time they're contracted and ready to roll, running the Age leads, and they're ready to hop on and, have the best leads possible, in my opinion.
Right. I think that's very forward thinking of you. And I want everybody to understand like how many agents did you have at the time when you decided to initially pull the trigger?
Zero. Zero. That was
That's
the bad part.
No, but that's the thing. I want people to understand that is like you were already thinking about what was happening because most people just try to react rather than prepare. They're not like, hey, you know what? I'm actually going to build something so when people come in, I can be prepared. They're just like, hey, let's just throw stuff at the wall. And then by the time you get a bunch of agents, it's almost too late because you don't really have a solid foundation. They're buying from lead vendors, et cetera. There's all these just miscellaneous things happening. And then the agent might potentially leave. Whereas your mindset was very different, right? You were like, hey, I'm going to invest in myself now and build something so that way when they come in, it's already kind of flown, which is a beautiful thing. Which, by the way, like you can transition and have your agents just keep everything the same and just have your agents work the sheet that comes in as you continue to scale. So let's talk about that learning phase. I want to stay there for a second. Can you explain to people what happened during that process and obviously be transparent, for the first 2 months before things really started kicking off?
No, for sure. I won't sugarcoat anything because I was definitely pretty down on myself. It's just anything with Meta. Like I tried to run ads myself, and it's just like that always. There's always going to be some sort of learning phase with the ads. It's not like you can just start up an ad and it's just going to work extremely well. It's going to find the correct audience and produce you, high intent leads. So coming into it, I kind of already had an idea of like, hey, I already know it's going to take, a month or two till we start getting some traction. But it's definitely hard. I'll be honest. I thought a couple times I'd wake up like, oh, dude, this, like I'm spending $50 a day. Got to pay my media buyer. Like it's rough. But I don't know. I just talk with my wife and, pray about it. Just be like, I know it's going to work out. Like I can't give up. I already put a bunch of money down and I'm spending money every day. It's like, I can't turn back now. Honestly, my outlook on it was I'm going to give myself 4 months to try these. I don't know if I told you that. I was like, 4 months for this to work. If it doesn't, I'm going to just stop the bleeding. But clearly after 2 months, it was just like a switch. Like, I don't know what you and Jay did, but they just started, they just started cranking. I don't know. I just woke up one day and everyone wanted to talk, and just ever since then, it's been really good CPLs as well. I'm getting like 10 to 15 leads a day on 100 ad spend and getting a lot of points of contact. Yesterday, I think it was like 10 leads and I had 5 presentations in a sale and appointments booked as well. So it's just that first 2 months that you just have to keep your head down and just know it's going to work. Like if you don't believe in the process, it's not going to be, like, you have to believe in it. That was a thing that I had a hard time coming to. The first month was just like, your sales are probably going to take a small hit in the beginning, but it's going to be so exponential in the future. Like I was never consistently doing 20K a month ever. Like it was rare I'd see over 15K, running Age leads and stuff like that. So now it's 20K a week. So it's like those first 2 months, you have to get through it. You have to keep your head down and just keep going. You just can't give up is like the biggest thing about those first 2 months. Just you gotta keep going. You gotta trust in Trey. You gotta trust with your media buyer. That talent pool is the best guys out there. But yeah, it's worth it. Every dollar I spent those first 2 months trying to get it to learn, it's all worth it. All worth it.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. I'm happy to hear that. And I'm happy that you were obviously candid about the process. And here's why I say that, because the way our program is set up, it's actually set up not to always be like that, but that's why we chose 3 months as an organization. Because when you look at marketing, they're 3 month sprints, right? Even though 3 months not doesn't really feel like a sprint, it's really 3 month sprints, right? That's how marketing is supposed to be set up from an advertising standpoint, all the way back to, when marketing started. So, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, rather than most people, especially in our industry, think one day, 1 week, 1 month. And it's like, that you can't judge it like that. But I get it. A lot of times when you're paying all these additional management fees and you have all these other things you're paying per lead and stuff, like that's really all you can do. This is kind of why I created this program. This is why I'm, really preaching this to people. I was like, you want to build your own thing. And I'm happy that literally, like, I'm not lying to you, our other partners, same exact thing. It's typically like that 4 to 6 or 8 week when there's like this switch. And it's really not anything that changes. It's just like you said, like algorithm continues to get better. Everything starts to kind of start clicking. And every agent or agency that we work with is very different too. So I think that's super cool.